Hi all, Hipper here. So today we're going a little bit back in time to Wolfenstein the Old Blood. And this is a game loosely based on the Return to Castle Wolfenstein Tides of War game for the original Xbox and PlayStation 2, I think it was. And obviously this is Wolfenstein, but this is a little bit different than the first game because this I think is the best of the installments in the series. It's not as action heavy as the other games, which were like real full standalone games, where this is a bit shorter and actually more of an expansion really. And the storyline is loosely, like I said, based on Return to Castle Wolfenstein, which I like better. I was never a real big fan of mixing like the kind of technology with the 1940s stuff, which they've done in these games, and Old Blood kind of dials that down a bit. So it's a little bit more just run-of-the-mill shooting Nazis and stuff. As a typical Wolfenstein thing, there's a bit of a supernatural edge to this game here, and along with evil Nazis.
If you do not want to feel this pain, which is completely understandable, you need to answer my question without hesitation. So, who is your contact in the village?
It's not all serious though, because this game actually contains quite a bit of humor.
Sind Sie Frankfurter?
Ja, ein Hotdog.
Hot dog.
There's also little nods to like other Bethesda games. Like I'm sure you can figure out what's being referred to here. So although there are shooting galleries in this game, most of the time is actually spent trying to figure out how to solve some puzzles, or more like environmental puzzles. Like for example here, where you have to turn the power off to the Übersoldat, and then you'll be able to take him out afterwards. And of course you could also just sneak, at least in some instances, sneak by and do other ways of getting past the missions. It's not as flexible as a real like open world game, but it's quite good. And like I said, the technological level is kept at a believable place. And if you feel like it, you can even play the really old Wolfenstein version in here. Of course, with a very nice frame rate. It's not like playing it back on a 386 back in 1992 or whatever. And although weapons, of course, play a huge role in this game here, you actually spend most of the time just using these two pipes here to perform most of the actions you have to do. It makes the game fun and challenging, I think, when there are certain sections where you are supposed to just mow down the enemies with a gigantic machine gun, and then there are other sections where you are facing, like, for example, giant robotic tigers with nothing but a knife, for example. And I think that's fun. And I know the other games in the series have touched upon this as well, but I don't think it's been done as thorough and well polished as it is in this game here. There are a few nods to the original Return to Castle Wolfenstein game as well, and that's always nice if you played that game, like 10, 12 years ago. So the supernatural element obviously comes in later you get into the game, and especially in the last portion, and I enjoy that. I think it's a great mix of 1940s World War II and a little bit of supernatural stuff to shake it up. I'm not a big fan on the whole technological thing with the like electric soldiers and stuff like that. It's a bit of a miss, I think, and that's why I like Old Blood the best of all the Wolfenstein games out there. It's not a very long game. You can probably finish it in an afternoon on medium difficulty, and it's also cheap because if you have Game Pass, this game is free along with all the other Wolfenstein games. So if you haven't like dipped your toes into the Wolfenstein universe, this is a very good way of getting started. I think it's just a very, very well polished game that that isn't too like unreal. Like, let's face it, the second installment is pretty out there, and I like the lore, and I like the little nods to other games, and I like the puzzles, and that you have to think a bit in this game here. It's not just running around gunning all the time. So it's a solid game, and I enjoyed it back when I first played it, and I still enjoy it very much. So if you got Game Pass, there's really no excuse. Get in there and download this game and give it a shot if you haven't tried it. I still enjoy it when I play it, and although it is a short experience, it is a quality one, and I think that's more important. So I hope you enjoyed this little retro look here, and I'll see you out there.